What's up, y'all? It's Suzu and I'm back with another video. Today is just gonna be a chill talk to y'all video. I'm gonna just give a deep dive into the suburban black girl experience for me growing up. I'm currently in my late 20s, so there's so much that I look back in my past from childhood, teens, and then 20s. And I feel like they do not talk about the black suburban girl experience enough. It's usually, majority African American people have the story of them growing up in the urban areas and the struggles of that. But they do not, I feel like the few black people that live in the suburbs, the story is just not being told enough. And I'm just going to give a deep dive about my experience growing up, because it wasn't all peaches and cream. I'll have to say, soon as I hit the first grade, from first grade all the way through grade school, that is just when it all started. I promise y'all, I could not catch a break to save my life when it comes to grade school. And I'm just gonna get to it. So in elementary school, I went to a public school. So it was just a mixture of black, white, and Hispanic. But this school was in a good area. This school was in the suburbs. So there were still some black kids whose families still came from low income homes, the hood and all, but they might have just moved to I'm gonna say lower middle class, because I still consider myself lower middle class even in the area that I'm at. But hey, everybody got their own opinion on middle class levels. But I was bullied by white kids, black kids. It was just okay, for the black kids, I'm too shy and quiet for them. And then I did not grow up wearing a lot of designer stuff. Back in well, even just now, but I was in elementary school in the 2000s, the mid 2000s and late 2000s. And then in middle school, it was the early 2010s. I wasn't wearing Nike, I was not wearing Adidas, I wasn't wearing K-Swiss or these shoes that they call Butters. I wasn't wearing any of that. That was considered streetwear, urban wear, for kids. That was just the popular thing, because that's what all the rappers and stuff would wear. But my mother never dressed me like that, and I have pictures to prove that. I wore a nice fancy sweater, I had cute shoes to go with that. I barely wore sneakers, y'all. I might have had a pair of Skechers at some point in my life, maybe one or two pair of sneakers possibly, but they weren't Nike or Adidas, if you get what I'm saying. They weren't the popular name brand ones. And I'm a child. I'm thankful I have clothes. But my mother did dress me cute. Now I was cute. However, I was bullied because of that, because I didn't wear the designer stuff. The black kids were saying, oh, you don't have all the new sneakers and all that. I got the new case with ha 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 ha, And I don't know if people remember this, if y'all grew, if y'all went to elementary school, middle school in the 2000s, people that are a little bit older. We would have these coats that have fur in the hoodies. I think they were South Pole or something like that. But they would wear those coats back then, and they were the ones with the most attitude, who had so much ish to say about me and how fancy and girly I dressed. I had ribbons in my hair, I would wear pearls, I just dressed like a girl, just a soft girl type of look. And I was so colorful. My mother, Oh my god, my mother just dressed me. She still be styling me to this day, which I'm going to do a separate video for on how my fashion style evolved, because baby, that deserves a video. When I was in the 3rd grade, I transferred to a charter school. It was predominantly African American, Black inner city kids, and Black suburban kids. Us wearing uniforms did not stop me from being bullied. I was constantly alienated for having eczema. They didn't know what it was. They didn't know what I was. Then I would fight boys every single day. Like, they would put their hands on me, I hit them back. I remember one day I was in recess. I was fighting a group of boys and they threw me in the mud. I had mud all over my khakis. My mother was livid and I had to go back to public school in the 4th grade. There was this Caucasian kid. He had ADHD and I got into it with him at lunch. I was at lunch. We were sitting next to each other, unfortunately. But the table had so much space. Like, it was me here, him, so much space. He gonna say, move, move. I'm like, why do I need to move? Like, you have so much, it's so much space between us. So he probably said like 3 or 4 times. I ain't listening to him. I'm like, you're like, no, I'm not doing that. Like, he hits me in the head with a lunchbox. Like, boom. Change just flew across the table. Of course, I'm livid. I'm like, okay, he has crossed the line. You hit me. I was like, you already aggravated me because you're telling me to move, lady. Move, move, move. Just like, I promise you, I never, ever did anything to this kid. I pushed him. He might have fell on the table. I don't know. But unfortunately, and this is another thing, with the all, Caucasian staff, I was the one that got in trouble. He did not get in trouble. So, my mother was livid. She showed up to school. She probably to the school so many times. But that right there, oh, she definitely was there probably the next day. Because ain't no way where you're going to suspend my child and not suspend him. Like, what? And I got suspended. But I definitely got in trouble for defending myself when he was the one that started it. So that was one incident that I had to deal with, and that's not the only ones, but that was just like one of the biggest ones. My mother has been up there so many times and riding for me. I have the best mom ever, y'all, if y'all don't realize. But I'm going to fast forward to me in middle school. There was this, well, how do I say this? I was bullied by multiple people, as you know. But I have to say that there's this specific white Caucasian male that would bully me all the time at lunch, call me ugly, and it got to a point that he got physical. Like, he would just like hit me like right on the shoulder. Right. He might have possibly hit me in the head and just like walked off and made sure nobody saw him. When I tell you, it like, of course, my dear mother just said, defend yourself, cool. But the fact that I did not have any classes with this kid, this Caucasian kid, and the fact that he would call me ugly and hit me multiple times, terrorize me every day at lunch. I think this might have happened in like 7th grade. Yeah, it was 7th grade because I didn't deal with any of this in 8th grade. But 7th grade, I didn't have any classes. And I think it was just the fact that it was just reputation. I'm ugly, like whatever. Like, I was called that throughout Facebook. I'm an ugly bee and all that. Like, I didn't do anything to these kids. Nothing. All I did was exist and mind my business. And at that point, I'm having social anxiety. I'm scared to talk to people. Like, it was so bad because I was bullied all through elementary. And then it just carried on in middle school. So, yeah, how I got to physical fights, yeah, like I had, I've gotten to it with a few black girls. I wind up, I think, like, I was in art class, and I had a little pushing match with one girl, another black girl. We was watching a movie in social studies, and, like, she kept on tapping my shoulder, and I just said I had enough, and I punched her right in her forehead. Literally. Like, had enough. And it got to a point that my parents had to, because once again, my mother was in and out of school. They almost pressed charges. Can you imagine? I'm a quiet girl. I'm on my business. I talk to people that I'm comfortable talking to. I had a few associates, yes, but as far as like deep root friends, no, I did not. My dad had stepped in because he found out about the white Caucasian kid that kept on hitting me. And I think the moment that I told him that he hitting me, he was just like, yeah, we need to get the cops involved. Like, we're gonna go to that office and get the cops involved because ain't no way in the world. And I promise you, there was a cop there at the lunchroom. That was the most peaceful lunch I've had in months. Because he just felt so bad. He was like, oh my God. It's like he was shaking. Shaking. He wouldn't dare do the mess that he did before. My parents were just right eyes, I swear. But he didn't do this to any other, he didn't do this to any of the other black girls but me. Because I'm quiet and I'm on my business. None of the other black girls, especially ones that I fought, well, I'm not even going to say fought because half the time I didn't even really fight, like really got into a fight. Like I said, like it was less a pushing match. It got broken up. Another time, it just, okay, she got popped on her forehead. Okay, then she pushed me to the floor and then boom, the fight was over. They broke it up, whatever. And I'm woman enough to say that, like, it is what it is. It happened, but can't say I didn't try. Right. But he didn't bother them. They weren't getting bullied. They weren't getting picked on because it's just, they just had that, I guess, they might have just had that demeanor. Like, don't mess with me. And sometimes I wish I had that, you know, but clearly I didn't have that. I'm always the target. But I can say things smoothed down in high school. I've definitely had people butcher my name all through school because my full name is Zawena. So it's Zuwena. I've had it butchered all through school. People still butcher it. And sometimes it's like a traumatic experience. You're like, okay, whatever. But I'm just like, no, somebody's gonna correct it. So I had to get on a few like white kids in high school. Like, don't like say it right. I checked them a few times. I'm like, I'm the same person. Like, it's just gonna be a tick, 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 and then I boom, right. Then my blood, once my blood starts boiling, like even now, just the thought of me reliving it, like, whew, girl, you gotta calm down. But yeah, like in high school, I had to check like a few white kids about like my name. I had to say because they were saying Zawanda, da da da. I was like, yeah, it's not great. I didn't been through all this ish. Okay, throughout elementary and middle school, but I said, you know what? It ain't gonna happen anymore. Okay, so yeah, they got checked. I cussed them out without cussing them out. I promise you, they said my name right. They said Zawena, not Zawanda. And it was at lunchtime in front of everybody. Everybody was like, yes. As far as the suburbs, I mean, it's just the way I carried myself to say, I don't know, but I made it out. I survived. But I'm gonna tell y'all, the suburban experience is also not for the weak as well, because you are looked at differently. Like, okay, she's not the black woman that I be seeing on TV, and she's not the black girls I be seeing on TV, or what I was raised to think of. But honey, it doesn't matter where you're from, as long as you're willing to learn and evolve. That's all that matters. You can be from the urban area and still be classy. I want to add one more thing. When I was in middle school, people did not think that I listened to rap. One time I was in class and I just knew all the rap lyrics. I think it was like this song by Ludacris. It was called My Chick Bad, My Chick Hood, My Chick Used Up Like Your Chick, like something like that. I knew all the words. The girl was just shocked. She was like, what? I was like, yeah, like just because I'm from the suburbs, I still listen to rap. Like, I be knowing more rap than them, because my daddy, you know, he grew up with music, and I'm so passionate about like music, even though I would never make it, that I got that from my daddy. But it's just stuff like that, like they just think, okay, she from the suburbs, or she just quiet, she's not loud and all that. She probably not even into all the, you know, the rap songs. Baby, I was listening to Drake, Nicki Minaj, all of that. Okay, like I was listening to, like, you know, the BET music and all that growing up. But yeah, you just have that misconception. But I'm like, how in the world would you assume that I don't listen to rap when you're friends with Caucasian kids that listen to rap? Like, that never made sense to me, but who knows. But yeah, I'm gonna conclude this video, and you know, if you are a Black girl, or you just want to share your input, like, please feel free to like, comment, subscribe, and thanks for watching. I'm gonna be posting some more content soon, so please stay tuned.